Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr., and the Arizona Cardinals hit the road to face Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor, DeForest Buckner, and the Indianapolis Colts, a 4-1 team with a ton of momentum. Now, that's not who we are going to start off with. It is actually the Arizona Cardinals, because it is necessary to talk about the elephant in the room. No, it's not the loss last week. It is that Marvin Harrison Jr. is a bona fide star in the making. All of the negative talk, what does he do? He goes out and has that play you've been waiting for the Arizona Cardinals. You've watched his Ohio State highlights probably for hours of your time, seen him 30 times on run back after they drafted him, and you're like, where is it? Where is that kid that was the Bolitnikoff Award winner, a Heisman Trophy finalist? Well, you saw it. Mossing two Titan defenders. I know he was down at the 1-yard line. It wasn't a touchdown, but those are the plays that have you excited about the future. Now, unfortunately, we do need to then address the way the rest of the game ended, but we're not going to do it now because we got to talk about the winner first. That was the Indianapolis Colts, who came out with another win against the Las Vegas Raiders. When you have that dominant of a victory, it is hard to go out here and say, oh, Indianapolis this, Indianapolis, oh. This team's good. They can run the football. They can stop the run. Defensively in the back end, they have playmakers. Even without Kenny Moore, for a couple of weeks, they'd still been playing at a decently high level. They had limited the Rams except for that one explosive play to Tutu Atwell. They were right there in it. Frankly, they outplayed the Rams, should have beat them in my book, and I think the Rams are still a great team. Arizona Cardinal fans have been watching the Rams, rooting against them probably, and are like, yeah, that's a good Rams football team. Indianapolis went out there and thrashed the Oakland Raiders. This was a game that was over so quickly in the first half that it's like, man, I almost, Geno Smith, maybe just let him throw a touchdown pass in the second half. I mean, boy, almighty, the struggles against Chicago, 3 picks, 2 picks against Indianapolis. Daniel Jones as efficient as ever. If you were a scoreboard watcher, you would say, Daniel Jones, like, the rating's good. You would try and find ifs, negative for another team. Say the Raiders suck this. The Raiders can actually get after the passer. They've got maybe the best defensive player in the NFL so far this season in Max Crosby, but he's just efficient. All Daniel Jones does is complete a high percentage of his passes, close to 70%, not turn the football over, hit the ones when he's need to, accurate when it matters the most, and then he's able to get the football to his all-star stud in Jonathan Taylor. I was predicting that he would have a big season. I didn't think it would be to the tune of 3 touchdowns against Oakland, massive performances against other teams. And again, he should have had another explosive 55-yard touchdown run against LA that got called back by a penalty. I still don't even know where that came from. They sacked Geno Smith 4 times. It felt like they got to him 7 times in this game. Immediately, I'm a little bit concerned if I'm the Arizona Cardinals. This is a team that needs to have time for Kyler to operate in the pocket. He has been sacked way too many times this season. He's been sacked 16 times. You'll wonder why he was taken out of the game for a little bit last week, why he had to go into the locker room, why this guy's been banged up. When you're hit that many times, you know how hard it is to continue getting back out there. He's not a 6'4", 225-pound guy that's a little bit built more, like your Sam Darnold's or your Daniel Joneses, who've got a bit more meat on the bone and can take a bit more of that pounding. Kyler Murray, he's great when he's got time in the pocket. He's outside of the pocket, able to create plays. It's just not really been there for him throwing the football. And again, they don't have a run game outside of Kyler that's able to supplant yards to be able to take it off of him. It's really tough to watch this Arizona team not have success running the football overall on the season because they are built to. I remember some of the better teams like Arizona with Carson Palmer, that team that went to the NFC Championship game it was like 10 years ago, and they had that crazy overtime win against the Green Bay Packers. They were able to run the ball better against Tennessee. That is a positive. Amari DiMercato with that explosive run. Like, come on, man. It happened to the Colts. A.D. Mitchell dropped it, and then Amari DiMercato. I guarantee you at some point they're going to show Marty Mercado dropping the ball before the end zone and A.D. Mitchell. It has costed both of these teams wins. Games that they had in the bag, and they wound up losing because a guy decided, I'm going to drop the football instead of getting in the end zone and then just keeping it. Give it to your girlfriend. Give it to your nephew. Like, give it to your mom. Give the ball to anybody. Drop it before the goal line. It's so tough in the exact same spot. The ball ends up going through the back of the end zone. And the defender for Tennessee, he knew exactly what was happening. He wanted to get after the ball. He thought he dropped it, and he just didn't get there quite in time. Arizona, that is the type of loss that feels like that Chicago Bears Commanders lost. It was just a game. Hail Mary basically ending it. But it wasn't. It wasn't a Hail Mary. It was a string of plays, and then you have the interception, and then fumble the ball, and then it's kicked and then recovered by Tyler Lockett in the end zone. I don't know how any of this stuff happens. It's beyond me. It's the craziest play that I think I've ever seen in my entire life, if we're frankly being honest about that thing. And not in the at all a good way for Arizona. I feel for you. And then Cam Ward does his thing, goes down the field to get that game-winning kick to end the game. Heartbreaker. The only way to get that taste out of your mouth is to somehow bounce back in a major way. Remember, this Arizona team is who the Chicago Bears faced coming off of the Hail Mary. The Bears went out to Arizona with a 4-3 record, faced Arizona and got their doors blown off of Arizona. This time, the Arizona Cardinals have a matchup where they're going to Indianapolis to play a Colts team. It's kind of funny how the irony works. So you end up going to a squad in Indianapolis that possesses the ability. Remember the Cardinals last year, right before half, it was a close game, and then they broke like a 50-yard touchdown run or 55, 60 yards, whatever it was. It was a simple handoff. Looked like the Cardinals were going into the half, and then boom, they're up by multiple scores, and it's like, wow, this game's probably over. This Bears team, they're dead to rights. Like, this is a Cardinals team. Now we're looking for it. Jonathan Gannon, who goes over and gives that little, that thump to DeMarcado. A lot of questions. There's a lot of turmoil. The speed that this thing's going downhill is quick. From 2-0, you have the short kick against the Seattle Seahawks. Like, this needs an Arizona team. Indianapolis, if you're them, play your sound fundamentals. You can't be thinking about your opponent. Give the ball to Jonathan Taylor 21 times. Daniel Jones, don't play down to your opponent. Don't turn the football over. I say down to your opponent. I truly think this is an Arizona team fully capable of making the playoffs. That's why those types of losses sting so much, because especially in this division, they would have been 3-2. The Rams lost to San Fran 3, so they are 3-2 now. The Bucs beat the Seahawks, so they're 3-2. They could have been right there 3-2 in the thick of this entire thing, and then a loss like that just almost, you look ahead and it just feels sort of devastating for them. But how can you prove someone like me wrong? How can you prove everyone wrong? It's a win on the road at Indianapolis. It's stacked against you. Las Vegas is stacked against you in this matchup. It's funny how sometimes football can be such a full season sport, and how sometimes you can look back to a specific moment in one game where it went wrong. The Indianapolis Colts are a team that has been the one that hasn't been able to finish games. It's had opportunities to win and haven't done it. This season, they flipped the script, and they're not putting themselves in situations where they're even close. They're thrashing teams, putting them to the ground, and really the one game besides the Denver one that's been super close, they couldn't pull it out against the Rams. They had penalties. So if you're Arizona, a one-score game, try and get some run of the football. I want to see Kyler Murray using his legs. That he did that okay against Tennessee. I want to see him get 8 or 9 carries, though. Keep the run going. They need to supplant that. I mean, overall on the day, they had, 30 carries, close to 6 yards a rush. A lot of that benefited from the explosive runs from Marty Mercado. So you have to do that against the Colts. It's very tough to do because of a DeForest Buckner, a Zaire Franklin for Indianapolis. This Colts defense is loaded with talent at multiple levels. They are very tough because of the amount of weapons that they have at different positions. I mean, for them still to have a guy like Samson Ebukam or Charvarius Ward they bring over from San Francisco, Mekhi Blackman, Rodney Thomas, they have a whole bunch of good players, and they also have depth too. You could even imagine one or two guys go down, that they have players to bring in. The Colts have actually had good defenses. You go back to where they were with Chuck Pagano. He gets fired and then immediately gets hired by the Chicago Bears as their defensive coordinator. So this Indianapolis team, they've been founded sort of on good defensive play. I go back to my entire lifetime and look at Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney when they had those dynamic, explosive fronts where they've got weapons up there. Of course, they had Harrison, right? Marvin's dad, right? Marvin Harrison Jr. out there being a Hall of Fame wide receiver for the Colts. So there's that lineage there, and it's good to see Indianapolis play well, because when I was growing up, the Indianapolis Colts always had good teams. They had a run with Andrew Luck, and then it was really rough there for a number of years later on in Luck's career and then without him. So it's great to see that the Colts, in a sense, are back. They're close. That AFC South now, Jacksonville's 4-1. The Houston Texans, you'd imagine, are going to start making a push to get back into this thing. This is the type of game. Don't feel sorry for your opponent. I don't think that they will, and they can go out there. Now, how do you do that? You rely on what's been working. Tyler Warren has been awesome for the Colts. They're like, thank you, Chicago, for taking 10th overall. I know I'm bringing that team up a lot, but it's funny how they're tied into that was the last team that you beat when you won the Super Bowl, correct? So there's a number. It's weird how the history sort of aligns with a couple of these squads and how it goes. So Tyler Warren, he's been awesome. The best receiver overall for Indianapolis. I think he has a big day. And he's effective because he's creative with the ball in his hands. He's faster than he looks. He's a better blocker than just about any, even Penn State fans give him credit for. They really got to continue to lean on Tyler Warren, get him his targets, 4 targets he had 4 targets, 4 catches last week against Las Vegas. They didn't really need to go to. They could have done a lot of things they wanted against the Raiders in that game. Defense playing well, offense humming. It bodes well for Indianapolis in this game. I think they have a nice win against Arizona, but I do believe it will stay close. Remember, Calais Campbell is still there for Arizona. He's a guy with that veteran presence. He'll try and keep that locker room together. You got to be grateful that you still have a guy like him in there. I've got the Colts 27-23. They win it in a tight one. Arizona gives everything that they have. This is still a talented team with players at just about every level of its offensive line, though I don't like their chances against this Colts front. So Colts 27, Cardinals 23. Let me know down below in the comments who you think comes out with the win. Am I wrong? Arizona comes back in a major way. Marvin Harrison Jr. is just too much for the Colts to hang with, or does Indianapolis find a way to get another win and move to 5-1, thoroughly in a position to start thinking about the playoffs playoffs? So I appreciate you so much. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more football content. I make NFL and college videos every day. I appreciate you guys. So please get down there in the comments. Let me know all that stuff. Love engaging with you. I try and respond to as many as I can. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Best player in college football. That Georgia and Ohio State game, New Year's Eve, is going to be a classic.
Josh Blunder. Hi, everybody. I'm Josh Blunder. To the 40, 35, 30. Espinosa to the 20.